My name is Clarissa, and today we're going to be doing the Greenhouse Web Server project. The function of this circuit is to create a web browser to monitor moisture, temperature, humidity, and brightness via Wi-Fi. We're going to be using the Arduino MKR Wi-Fi 1010, the Arduino MKR IoT carrier, and the capacitive soil moisture sensor. The moisture sensor has two exposed conductors. It acts like a variable resistor. When it comes into contact with water, the conductivity increases and resistance drops, so lower moisture levels mean higher resistance. And now we're going to look at the code. So we are in the web editor. Previously, we've been on the IoT cloud, but since we want to start a browser, we're using the web editor. And we also have to include this new library, Wi-Fi Nina.h, and it helps us connect to the local Wi-Fi and set up a web browser. So we have to write down the Wi-Fi name, the password. Initially, I tried using the house internet and I had trouble connecting, so I used my Wi-Fi and that worked. And here we have the moist pin, which is the moisture sensor and it's connected to A5. And we're initializing our variables. And now for the void setup, we want to use the serial monitor to open up and show us to see if we're connected to the server. And of course, we have the carrier case set to false for now. And it'll run to enable the Wi-Fi, connect to the Wi-Fi, and begin, and then printing out the Wi-Fi status. And so this loop here will continuously run, and it'll read the sensors and print out the data to the web browser. The print Wi-Fi status function lets us know what network we're connected to, the board's IP address, the signal strength, and if successful, it'll say to open up a browser and you plug in the numbers to a new tab and it'll open up the web server to show the sensors working. And here it'll also display some information to the Arduino screen. So it'll say successfully connected and telling you to go to the serial monitor to find the IP address. The enable Wi-Fi function, here it's checking for the Wi-Fi module, and it also checks for a firmware update if needed. The connect Wi-Fi function connects to the Wi-Fi, and it'll print out attempting to connect, so you can see if you need to change anything and to make sure it's working properly. And yeah, waiting for connection. And now the read sensors function. Here we have the moisture sensor, temperature, humidity, and light. And now printing to the web. This code will tell us what we want to print to the browser. So we have this here, and this will allow us to change the style of the browser. So the main one here is font size 48 and what font and a margin. And so for the following codes, it'll print out an icon, and depending on whether the sensor is higher or lower than a certain number, the icon can be green or red. This is good for if you have different plants and they have different needs. So some plants don't need to be watered a lot, or they require minimal moisture or high levels of moisture. So we have it set now to if it's above 40, the tree icon turns green, otherwise it turns red. And yeah, some plants prefer higher humidity or lower humidity. For now, we have if the moisture level is between 30 and 50, the water icon turns green, otherwise red. And for the light, if it is greater than 300, the light icon turns green. And if it's not greater than 300, light icon turns red. And this would be nice to connect it to the LEDs on the Arduino in case the plant has seen more darkness than light. And now for the temperature, if it's between 22 Celsius and 28 degrees Celsius, the thermometer icon turns green, otherwise it turns red. And for the relays, we're not using relays, but they are introduced. If a relay is on, it'll be green, otherwise it'll be red. And some more styling. And here we have text talking about the moisture level, the illuminance, the humidity, the temperature, and the state of the relays. And these codes create the buttons. So we have on, submit, value on, and off, submit, off. And to end it, if the connection is disrupted, it'll say client disconnected. So you want to make sure that it's connected to the right board and the right COM. And we're going to upload and save. And so it's verifying and saving the code for any changes. And we can open up the serial monitor. And we can also be taking a look at the Arduino display. The Arduino says successfully connected. Find the link in the serial monitor, which is expected from this code here. And now we just need the IP address and pasting it into a browser. Currently, the sensor isn't near water, so it displays a 0, and the tree icon is red. For illuminance, there's low light, so it's at 8, and I can bring it closer to my lamp and turn the brightness up of the lamp. And the luminance icon should turn green, and then we have local humidity and the local temperature and the relays. And I have a cup of water to place the moisture sensor inside to see the change of the moisture level. So the highest moisture level that it's reaching is 40%. And then we'll take it out of the cup of water. And we see it going back down to 0. And these relays can be used to connect another device to the Arduino. Here, and you can make them on or off, like say a fan if the humidity is too high, turning on a water pump if the moisture level is too low. And that was all. Thank you.